here at Pine Lake. I am extremely honored to be speaking at this memorial event today. On September 11th, 2001, the world changed forever as 4 airplanes were hijacked by Al-Qaeda terrorists attacking the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. These attacks resulted in over 9,000 victims, with nearly 3,000 dead and injuries for over 6,000. Despite the fact that none of us students were alive during these horrific attacks, we've heard the stories from our parents and our teachers. Some of us have even visited the 9/11 Memorial Site in New York City to pay our respects. Nevertheless, this was a day in history that no one would be able to forget. It is seared in the memories of each and every single survivor of this day. The days, the weeks, and the months following consisted of a nation coming together to face the dark realities of the attack. A nation coming together to honor the thousands of victims and survivors. A nation coming together to continue embodying the American values and the American way of life. The terrorists aimed to attack the very pillars of our nation. They tried to attack free trade, a key principle of our economy. Not only that, but they tried to attack our lives, our liberty, and our pursuit of happiness. But as President George W. Bush said in his 9/11 address, terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America. These acts shattered steel, but they cannot dent the steel of the American resolve. Let us never forget the pain, the sorrows, the sacrifices, and the losses of 9/11. But let us also never forget how we, as a nation, stood together in the face of terrorism. Let us continue to refuse to bend to such hatred and such attacks on our democracy, our freedoms, and our way of life. Today, as we take the time to remember one of the darkest days in American history, we are reminded of every loss this nation has faced, every smiling soul fallen to hatred. On 9/11, we lost moms and dads, brothers and sisters, and friends and coworkers. We are reminded of how we must never forget the sacrifices made by the police officers, the firefighters, the emergency personnel, the volunteers, the government workers, and each and every single victim of this horrific attack. Their bravery, their courage, and their loyalty to this nation are honorable, and each and every single one of us are indebted to them. In today's day and age, our nation may encompass various differences that try to drive us apart. But we must remember the strength of each fiber of our values that brings us together as the American people. We must remember that above every distinctive trait we may possess, we stand together as the American people in one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
I'd like everyone to take a moment to bow their heads in silence of the tragic events of 9/11. say thank you to our Pine Lake Orchestra, band, and chorus. Thank you to our emergency workers who are here today in remembrance of 9/11, and thank you to the PLP community.